Hey YouTube, Papa Chaz coming at you today. It is a Friday evening and we are getting ready to do a packer brisket. As you can see, we got one laying there and going to get it seasoned up, put it in the fridge overnight and get it started in the morning. Got a family coming over tomorrow for supper and we're going to do a brisket on the smoker grill. So as you can see what we got right there, we got our Montreal steak seasoning and our olive oil and our brisket, and that's all we're going to do. I'm going to cut it open and trim up the fat, as this side doesn't have a whole lot, but got a pretty good side of fat right here on this side, and we're going to trim that down to where it's about 1/4 of an inch. Don't have a real good fat cap on that point, but that's okay. I tell you what, these things have gone out of sight. You can see I got that at Kroger, and it's $39.86 before tax and before my Kroger card, and the weight on that is 10.53, and this was the cheapest one they had. They had one that was 52, and then we looked at some others that was 42 and 45. I mean, meat has just gone crazy, but we couldn't take the family out and feed them for what we're going to have in this supper, so by the time we went to a restaurant it'd be even more crazy than that. So we're just going to do it ourselves. So I'm going to cut this thing open and get it trimmed up and seasoned, and I'll be back at you, and we'll show you what it looks like when we get it done. Hey everybody, we're back. You can see I got it trimmed up. Wasn't a real thick fat cap on there, but you want to take it down to where your fat's only about 1/4 of an inch thick. Otherwise it'll put too much in there. And then I'm going to cook it. This would have been the fat side if it had been all completely covered, but it wasn't. I took that down, got a little bit too close in a couple spots, but it's going to be okay. We're gonna cover it now with I'm gonna coat it with olive oil, real light coating, and then sprinkle the seasoning, which is just the Montreal steak seasoning, and put it in the refrigerator. It is 20 minutes till 9. Time I get done with this, get it in the fridge, it'll be, I don't know, it'll take me 10-15 minutes. And then I'm planning on putting it on between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning, so that it'll be ready, hopefully, by about 5 o'clock tomorrow. I'll have it off the grill and cut up. That is a good looking piece of meat. And I've done a few brisket points, but I hadn't done a whole brisket on the smoker yet, so I'm not worried about doing it. I've got enough practice with this thing. I'm not worried about how it's going to turn out. I've got it down to where I can keep that heat regulated good. So all the modifications I did on my smoker, and I'll have it fired up in the morning and we'll be cooking. And I'm going to get it, I'm going to get this shut down and get it coated good. And I'll get some clean paper and wrap it and put it in the refrigerator overnight. But I'll get back on here just a little bit before we get before I put it in the fridge, and we'll be back at you here just shortly. Okay, everybody, there you go. You can see we got it seasoned up. Now I don't go overbearing with the seasoning because you can overpower the taste of the meat, especially when I'm going to be letting it sit in the fridge overnight like this. I say overnight; it's not going to be but about 7-8 hours. But anyway, that I got it seasoned just about like that on both sides. And I'm fixing to get some fresh freezer paper and wrap it up good and put it in the refrigerator. And like I said, I'll be starting the fire probably about 4:30 in the morning. Time it gets up to temperature and gets the wood burning good and gets the smoker up to temperature, we'll be putting it on between 5:30 and 6. I'll probably, and if it goes a little earlier than that, that's okay too. I'd rather have it done and keep it warm than I have to worry about having it done by the time they get here. So don't expect to have any trouble with that size. If it takes 12 hours to cook, I'll really be surprised, I'll be honest. So I like to run my smoker up around 250 and 260. And of course you don't, I'll temp it internal, but you don't judge by internal temp on these. It's going to be over internal temp anyway, because you want that thing where you can probe it, and it's like sticking the probe or the toothpick or whatever you use in hot butter. But I'm going to throw the fat away and get us all wrapped up here and get us in the refrigerator, and I'll be back with you in the morning.